When I'm talking about certainty, I'm talking about philosophical certainty in a very technically defined manner. And in that sense, I don't have certainty about anything, even when I'm right here. But I cannot know for certainty, that God exists. Sure, we don't have perfect certainty. The only way I can think of to have absolute certainty about anything is to have omniscience. And that we don't have. That belongs to God. We are creatures who deal on the basis of the information and the testimony by which God gives us.
There is that knowledge that we would call cognitive knowledge, intellectual awareness of. And then there is that personal, intimate knowledge that is a different kind of knowledge. That's a knowledge that goes beyond mere awareness, mere intellectual cognition.
I'm Herb Clinton, nobody from nowhere. I'm like Agnostic Gillespie here. In the midst of my question, I'm going to ask you a yes or no question.
Wow.
What you're saying is that philosophically, men cannot be certain. You've said that, right?
Ultimately, yes.
And well, then, what I really want to know is I want to be sure of your position. I want to know exactly what you meant. Are you saying then that the only one that is philosophically certain is God?
Yes. Sure, we don't have perfect certainty. The only way I can think of to have absolute certainty about anything is to have omniscience. And that we don't have. That belongs to God. We are creatures who deal on the basis of the information and the testimony by which God gives us.
The truth about God is evident in people. It's in them. How did it get there? God himself made it known to them. It's not as if God planted little mysterious clues. God's knowledge that he plants in your souls, that he gives you a conscience, and by nature he reveals inwardly to you.
In other words, what I'm saying is that I can take natural man and I can say to that guy, listen, there's light out here, and you're missing it. And you're missing it not because of the weakness of the light, but because of that blindfold. I want to help you take that blindfold off, you see. I want to show you, demonstrate for you, the brilliance of that light. All right, the third group are those who are saved but don't know it.
So it's possible to be in a state of grace and not to have the full assurance that you are in a state of grace. As much as I talk about my conversion experience, that experience may not actually correspond to the work of God in my soul. God the Holy Spirit may have regenerated me a week before that, a month before that, 5 years before that, before I experienced the reality of what had happened internally.
Paul says in Corinthians that the natural man does not know God. And it would seem at that point that the apostle is precluding the possibility of anybody getting any knowledge of God by means of nature, unless the Holy Spirit illuminates him, opens his eyes, and so on.